Welcome back to the Ventureverse channel. If you enjoy virtually traveling the world from your screen and want to stay updated on travel restrictions, those pesky little things that keep us from getting our boots dirty, don't forget to like and subscribe. Look, we all know the world is a vast, messy, and often unforgiving place. It's also tragically beautiful, filled with cultures and cuisines that can knock you on your ass if you let them. But sometimes, getting your passport stamped in certain places is about as appealing as biting into a durian fruit after someone's used it as a punching bag. In today's episode, we're diving into the top 5 countries that have effectively become no-go zones for American travelers in 2025. We'll explore the reasons behind these restrictions, from political turmoil to straight-up safety concerns. So whether you're an armchair traveler living vicariously through your laptop screen or a seasoned globetrotter with a thirst for adventure, buckle up. This one's going to be a bumpy ride. North Korea. The name itself conjures up images of grim dictators, military parades that look like they were choreographed by Busby Berkeley on a bad acid trip, and a population kept in a state of perpetual fear and isolation. Traveling to North Korea has always been a dicey proposition, kind of like trying to find a decent bagel in Pyongyang, highly unlikely, and probably not worth the effort. But for Americans, in 2025, it's about as welcome as a case of explosive diarrhea at a state banquet. The country's oppressive regime, led by Kim Jong-un, a man who makes Caligula look like a goddamn social worker, has effectively slammed the door shut on American tourists. The reasons are about as subtle as a punch in the throat: deteriorating diplomatic relations, human rights violations that would make a Rwandan warlord blush, and the ever-present threat of getting caught in the crosshairs of a geopolitical pissing contest. Venezuela. Once upon a time, this South American nation was the envy of the continent. Its cities were bustling with life, its economy was booming, and its people were full of hope and ambition. The country was a beacon of prosperity and stability in a region often plagued by turmoil. Blessed with vast oil reserves, stunning natural beauty, and a vibrant culture, it seemed destined for greatness. The oil industry in particular was the crown jewel of Venezuela's economy, bringing in immense wealth and promising a bright future for its citizens. But somewhere along the way, the wheels came off. The once thriving cities began to decay, and the infrastructure that had been the pride of the nation started to crumble. The signs of decline were everywhere, from the dilapidated buildings to the overgrown streets. Decades of corruption, economic mismanagement, and political instability have transformed Venezuela from a paradise into a cautionary tale. The government, once seen as a protector of the people, became synonymous with greed and incompetence. Protest became a common sight, and the vibrant street life was replaced by scenes of unrest and despair. Today, the country is in the throes of a humanitarian crisis of epic proportions. The healthcare system is on the brink of collapse, and the once bustling markets are now filled with people desperately searching for basic necessities. The sight of children scavenging for food is a heartbreaking reminder of how far the country has fallen. Hyperinflation has rendered the currency practically worthless. The bolivar, once a symbol of national pride, is now little more than paper. Supermarket shelves are empty, and the cost of living has skyrocketed, making it nearly impossible for ordinary citizens to survive. Food and medicine are scarce. The shortages have reached critical levels, and people are forced to wait in long lines for hours, hoping to get their hands on whatever limited supplies are available. The lack of essential goods has created a sense of desperation and hopelessness among the population. And basic services like electricity and running water are, for many, a distant memory. Power outages are frequent, and access to clean water is a luxury that few can afford. The infrastructure that once supported a thriving nation is now in a state of disrepair, leaving millions to fend for themselves in increasingly dire conditions. The US government, never one to mince words when it comes to travel advisories, has slapped a big, fat, do not travel warning on Venezuela. This advisory is not just a formality. It reflects the genuine dangers that travelers face in the country. The risks are real, and the consequences of ignoring such warnings can be severe, and for once I'm inclined to agree with Uncle Sam. The situation in Venezuela is too volatile, and the potential for harm is too great. It's a sobering reality that even the most adventurous travelers must acknowledge. This isn't a place for casual tourism. The once popular tourist attractions now stand empty, and the infrastructure to support visitors is virtually non-existent. The vibrant culture and natural beauty that once drew people from around the world are overshadowed by the daily struggles of survival. This is a country on the brink, where violence is a daily reality and even the most basic necessities are hard to come by. The presence of military forces on the streets is a constant reminder of the instability, and the fear of crime is ever present. For the people of Venezuela, every day is a battle to stay safe and secure. Now, I'm not saying that everyone in Venezuela is living in a Mad Max-style dystopia. There are still moments of joy and community, where families come together to share a meal, and children find ways to play and laugh despite the hardships. The resilience of the Venezuelan people is truly remarkable. But the reality is, the risks for travelers, especially Americans, are just too damn high. The potential for danger is too great, and the ability to navigate the complexities of the situation is limited. It's a risk that few are willing to take, and for good reason. It's a damn shame, really. Venezuela has so much to offer. The snow-capped Andes, the Amazon rainforest, the Caribbean coastline. The natural beauty of the country is unparalleled, and the rich history and culture are treasures that the world deserves to experience. Venezuela has so much to offer. The snow-capped Andes, the Amazon rainforest, the Caribbean coastline. These natural wonders are a testament to the country's potential and a reminder of what could be if the situation were different. And let's not forget the people, warm, welcoming, and resilient in the face of unimaginable hardship. The spirit of the Venezuelan people is unbreakable, and their ability to find joy and hope in the darkest of times is truly inspiring. But until the political situation stabilizes, until the economy begins to recover, Venezuela will remain a no-go zone for most travelers. The challenges are immense, and the path to recovery is long and uncertain. The world watches and hopes for a brighter future for this once great nation. It's a stark reminder that even paradise can be lost, and that sometimes the most responsible thing to do is to stay away. The story of Venezuela is a cautionary tale for the world, a reminder of the fragility of prosperity and the importance of good governance. Until the day comes when Venezuela can reclaim its place as a paradise, we must watch from afar and hope for the best. Syria. Just saying the name conjures images, right? But not the good kind. Not anymore. Gone are the days of picturing bustling souks, ancient ruins whispering tales of empires past, the scent of cardamom and spices thick in the air. Now, it's the ghost of Aleppo that haunts us. The shattered cityscape, a grim reminder of the fury unleashed. The war, a festering wound since 2011, has carved deep lines into this nation's soul. It's a messy, tangled conflict, a Gordian knot of ideology, foreign powers pulling strings, and a whole lot of blood spilled on the ground. This isn't about choosing sides, folks. This is about understanding the human cost. The families torn apart, the millions displaced, the futures extinguished. It's a humanitarian crisis of staggering proportions. So, when you think of traveling to Syria, ask yourself this: is it worth stepping into this minefield? Can you stomach being a voyeur to this level of suffering? Because trust me, it's not a TripAdvisor review you'll be writing. It's a eulogy for a nation lost. Iran, a land of ancient history, breathtaking landscapes, and a culinary tradition that'll make your tongue sing. From the ancient ruins of Persepolis to the bustling bazaars of Tehran, Iran is a country that offers a rich tapestry of experiences. The landscapes range from the arid deserts of Dashti Kavir to the lush forests of the Caspian region, each telling its own story. And let's not forget the food: saffron-infused rice, succulent kebabs, and stews that have been perfected over centuries. It's a place that promises adventure and discovery at every turn. But let's not kid ourselves, this ain't your next vacation spot. Despite its allure, Iran remains a destination fraught with complexities, especially for American travelers. The political landscape has cast a long shadow over the country's tourism potential, making it a challenging place to visit. The dream of exploring Iran's wonders often gets shelved, replaced by safer, more accessible destinations. Not if you're American anyway. The restrictions are real and stringent, making it nearly impossible for U.S. citizens to explore this enigmatic land. The travel advisories are clear. Iran is a high-risk destination, and the consequences of ignoring these warnings can be severe. See, The relationship between the United States and Iran has been about as warm and fuzzy as a sandpaper back massage since the late 70s. The Iran hostage crisis of 1979 marked the beginning of a long and tumultuous relationship. Diplomatic ties were severed, and the animosity has only grown over the decades. Political leaders from both sides have engaged in a relentless game of brinkmanship, each move further entrenching the divide. We're talking decades of mistrust, sanctions, and enough political posturing to make a chess grandmaster blush. The sanctions have been a double-edged sword aimed at curbing Iran's nuclear ambitions but also crippling its economy. The political cartoons depicting this standoff as a high-stakes chess game are not far from the truth. Each move is calculated, each countermove anticipated, but the endgame remains elusive. Now, I'm no stranger to countries with complicated pasts. I've wandered through the alleys of war-torn cities, shared meals with people who have seen the worst of humanity and yet found hope in their resilience. Each place has its own story, its own struggles, and its own beauty. Hell, I've made a career out of it. From the bustling streets of Bangkok to the serene temples of Kyoto, I've seen it all. Each journey has been a lesson in history, culture, and the indomitable human spirit. But Iran is a different beast altogether. But there's a difference between a healthy dose of cultural friction and a full-blown geopolitical pressure cooker. Iran falls squarely into the latter category. The geopolitical tensions are palpable, simmering just below the surface, ready to boil over at any moment. It's a delicate balance, one that requires careful navigation and a deep understanding of the underlying issues. And trust me, in Iran, that pressure cooker's been simmering for a while. The streets of Tehran are a testament to this tension. Protests erupt with alarming frequency, and the police presence is a constant reminder of the state's tight grip on its people. The air is thick with a sense of unease, a feeling that anything could happen at any moment. So unless you've got a diplomatic passport and a taste for risk that makes Evel Knievel look cautious, maybe skip this one for now. Sanctions, man. They complicate everything. Even if you manage to get in, navigating the bureaucratic maze is a Herculean task. The risks far outweigh the rewards, at least for now. They're the silent killer of travel dreams. Sanctions don't just affect the economy, they stifle the very spirit of exploration. Travel agencies close down, flights get canceled, and the dream of experiencing Iran's rich culture fades into the background. And in Iran, they hit harder than a right hook from Mike Tyson in his prime. The sanctions have led to shortages of essential goods, skyrocketing prices, and a general sense of despair among the populace. It's a tough environment, one that tests the limits of human endurance. We're talking crippled economy, limited access to basic goods, and a population struggling to make ends meet. The scenes in the markets are heartbreaking. Families scrounging for whatever they can find. People waiting in long lines for basic necessities. It's a stark contrast to the vibrant, bustling markets that once defined Iranian commerce. Now I'm all for experiencing a culture in its rawest form. There's something profoundly enriching about immersing yourself in a place, understanding its struggles and connecting with its people. But Iran presents a unique set of challenges that go beyond the usual travel hurdles. But there's a fine line between immersive travel and being a clueless tourist stumbling through someone else's hardship. It's one thing to visit a country and learn from its history and culture, it's another to become an unwitting participant in its ongoing struggles. The last thing you want is to be a burden or, worse, a liability. And let's be honest, your tourist dollars ain't doing the average Iranian on the street any favors when the whole system's rigged against them. The economic benefits of tourism are minimal when the larger issues remain unaddressed. The average Iranian vendor or shopkeeper sees little to no benefit from foreign visitors, especially when the economy is in shambles. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially when you see the warmth and generosity of the Iranian people, but sometimes the most responsible thing to do is stay away. The Iranian people are some of the most hospitable you'll ever meet, eager to share their culture and history, but in the current climate, your presence might do more harm than good. Look, I'm the last guy to tell anyone where they can and can't go. Travel is a deeply personal experience, and everyone has their own reasons for exploring the world. But sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. Freedom to travel, to experience new cultures, it's in my damn blood. The thrill of discovering a new place, the joy of meeting new people, it's what keeps me going. But even the most seasoned traveler has to recognize when the risks outweigh the rewards. But even I got to admit, Iran right now, it's a tough one. The travel warnings are not just bureaucratic red tape. They're based on real, tangible risks. It's a sobering reality, one that every potential traveler must consider. The risks are real, folks. We're talking potential for arbitrary detention, getting caught in the crossfire of political games, and let's not forget the minefield of cultural misunderstandings that can land you in hot water faster than you can say salam. The consequences of a misstep can be severe, and the margin for error is razor thin. We're talking potential for arbitrary detention, getting caught in the crossfire of political games, and let's not forget the minefield of cultural misunderstandings that can land you in hot water faster than you can say salam. The risks are not just theoretical, they are very real and very immediate. It's a high-stakes game, one that requires careful consideration and a deep understanding of the complexities involved. It's a damn shame, really, because beneath the political layers, there's a country begging to be explored. Iran's cultural heritage is rich and diverse, offering a unique blend of ancient traditions and modern influences. It's a place that promises adventure and discovery, if only the political climate would allow it. Because beneath the political layers, there's a country begging to be explored. Ancient ruins, whispering stories of empires past, bustling bazaars bursting with life, and a cuisine that'll make you weep tears of joy. The history, the culture, the people, there's so much to discover, so much to learn. It's a traveler's dream, locked away behind a wall of political tension. Ancient ruins, whispering stories of empires past, bustling bazaars bursting with life, and a cuisine that'll make you weep tears of joy. The allure of Iran is undeniable, a siren call to those who seek to understand the world in all its complexity. But for now, that call must go unanswered. But for now, we wait. We wait for a time when the political climate shifts, when the barriers come down, and when the world can once again explore the wonders of Iran. It's a waiting game, one that requires patience and hope. We hope for a brighter future when bridges are rebuilt and the world can once again experience the magic of Iran. The potential for change is always there, a glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak landscape. Diplomatic efforts, cultural exchanges, and a renewed sense of understanding could pave the way for a new era of exploration. Until then, we raise a glass to better days, to the hope that one day the barriers will fall and the world will be free to explore the rich tapestry of Iran. Here's to the future, to the promise of new adventures, and to the enduring spirit of travel. Afghanistan. A name that echoes with history, with conflict, with stories of resilience and loss woven into the very fabric of the land. This ancient land, with its rugged mountains and sweeping valleys, has been a crossroads of civilizations for millennia. From the days of Alexander the Great to the modern era, Afghanistan has been a stage for the grand dramas of history, each leaving its mark on the landscape and the people who call it home. It's a place that's seen more than its fair share of empires rise and fall, leaving behind a landscape as rugged and unforgiving as its past. The remnants of these empires can still be seen today, in the ancient ruins that dot the countryside, silent witnesses to the passage of time and the relentless march of history. For decades, Afghanistan has been synonymous with war, a battleground for ideologies and ambitions far removed from the lives of the everyday people caught in the crossfire. The Cold War, the Soviet invasion, the rise of the Taliban, and the subsequent US-led intervention have all left indelible marks on the nation, each conflict adding another layer of complexity to an already intricate tapestry. Those who call this land home have known little else but conflict, their lives shaped by the ebb and flow of violence. Yet amidst the chaos, there is a profound sense of resilience. Afghan families continue to go about their daily lives, children play amidst the ruins, and communities come together to support one another in the face of adversity. The echoes of war are impossible to ignore. The bullet-riddled walls of buildings stand as stark reminders of the battles fought and the lives lost. Each scar on the landscape tells a story of struggle and survival, a testament to the enduring spirit of the Afghan people. From the bullet-riddled walls of buildings to the minefields that litter the countryside, the scars of conflict run deep. Landmines, remnants of past wars, continue to pose a deadly threat, a constant reminder of the dangers that lurk just beneath the surface. It's a stark reminder of the human cost of war, a sobering reality check for anyone venturing into this troubled land. Military checkpoints and scenes of destruction are a common sight, underscoring the ongoing challenges faced by those who live here. But even amidst the ruins, life persists. The marketplaces buzz with activity, children play in the streets, and the rhythms of daily life continue. It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the ability to find hope and joy even in the most challenging of circumstances. The Afghan people, known for their resilience and unwavering spirit, continue to rebuild, to find hope in the face of adversity. Artisans craft beautiful works of art, women take on the task of rebuilding homes, and communities come together to support one another. It's a testament to the enduring human spirit, a beacon of light in a land shrouded in darkness. Family gatherings and acts of kindness are common, showing that even in the darkest times there is always a glimmer of hope. In 2021, the world watched as the Taliban swept back into power, their black and white flags flying over Kabul once more. The rapid takeover was a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the enduring power of ideology. The speed of their advance shocked many, a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the enduring power of ideology. The images of shocked Afghan citizens caught off guard by the sudden change were broadcast around the world, highlighting the uncertainty that now grips the nation. The return of the Taliban has ushered in a new era of uncertainty. Their strict interpretation of Islamic law, with its restrictions on women's rights and freedoms, has sparked fear and apprehension both within Afghanistan and across the globe. Their strict interpretation of Islamic law, with its restrictions on women's rights and freedoms, has sparked fear and apprehension both within Afghanistan and across the globe. Protests have erupted, both within the country and internationally, as people voice their concerns about the future of human rights under Taliban rule. The international community grapples with how to engage with this new regime, caught between a desire to provide humanitarian aid and a reluctance to legitimize a government accused of human rights abuses. Meetings and discussions continue as world leaders seek a way to support the Afghan people without endorsing the Taliban's actions. For travelers, the risks are undeniable. The security situation remains volatile, with the threat of violence a constant shadow. Those who choose to visit must do so with caution, aware of the potential dangers that lie ahead. The security situation remains volatile, with the threat of violence a constant shadow. Military presence is a common sight, and the aftermath of explosions serves as a grim reminder of the ongoing conflict. Navigating the cultural landscape requires a deep understanding of local customs and sensitivities, a misstep easily misconstrued. Travelers must tread carefully, respecting the traditions and values of the Afghan people while being mindful of the complex social dynamics at play. Afghanistan today is a land in flux, caught between its turbulent past and an uncertain future. The juxtaposition of ancient historical sites and the modern-day hustle and bustle of Kabul highlights the contrasts that define this nation. The weight of history hangs heavy, a constant reminder of the challenges that lie ahead. Monuments and memorials serve as places of reflection, where people come to remember the past and contemplate the future. Rebuilding a nation shattered by decades of conflict is a monumental task. Construction and rebuilding efforts are underway, with communities coming together to support one another and lay the foundations for a brighter future. The scars of war run deep, etched not just on the landscape but on the souls of its people. The resilience of the Afghan people is evident in their faces, each one telling a story of survival and hope amidst the war-damaged landscapes. For those considering travel to Afghanistan, the question isn't simply one of safety but of ethics. Is it responsible to visit a country grappling with such immense challenges? The debate continues as travelers weigh the desire to explore against the need to respect the dignity and resilience of the Afghan people. Is it responsible to visit a country grappling with such immense challenges? The debate continues as travelers weigh the desire to explore against the need to respect the dignity and resilience of the Afghan people. Discussions about responsible travel and humanitarian aid are ongoing, as the world seeks to find a balance between engagement and respect. Can tourism coexist with the need to respect the dignity and resilience of the Afghan people? Small-scale tourism efforts are underway, with a focus on respecting local customs and supporting the communities that welcome visitors. For now, Afghanistan remains a land best observed from afar, a place where the echoes of conflict serve as a stark reminder of the human cost of war. The breathtaking landscapes seen from above tell a story of beauty and tragedy, a land marked by the scars of its tumultuous history. It's a place that demands our attention, our empathy, but perhaps not our physical presence, at least not yet. The future of Afghanistan remains uncertain, but the resilience and spirit of its people offer a glimmer of hope for what lies ahead. So there you have it. 5 destinations where the line between adventure and recklessness blurs like cheap tequila at closing time. Look, I get it. We all crave a little danger, a taste of the forbidden. But sometimes the most daring thing you can do is exercise a little caution. North Korea, Venezuela, Syria, Iran, Afghanistan. These places are hurting, man. They're caught in the gears of conflict, politics, and forces far beyond our control. And as much as I hate to admit it, sometimes the best way to show respect is to stay the hell away, at least for now. But hey, don't despair. The world's a big, messy, beautiful place. And there are still countless destinations out there just begging to be explored. Places where you can satisfy your wanderlust without risking life and limb. If you found this video informative, please like and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments below about countries you'd still want to visit despite restrictions. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the Venture-verse. Until next time, keep exploring, safely.